Hi, I'm Miles.
And I'm Marika.
And this is I Don't Know What I'm Doing.
'Cause we don't!
Hello.
Hi. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all we got is hello and then a pause that I have to edit out.
Sorry. This is such this topic this week is real good.
Marika
for
said
me,
hi and then stared at a phone.
which has to do with our topic. It's
And we're not there yet. I mean, even though
not there.
you clicked on this episode, so you know what the theme is, but that's just, we're not at the theme yet. We're at the appetizer.
which is our fail of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Why? We're like over 50 episodes in, and I still don't know our format.
So every week we start the episodes with our fail of the fortnight. And I have one. I don't know about Marika.
I don't.
I have like a mini one, and then I have but it's quick, and then I have like a fail. My mini one, I just want to list the things I've eaten today.
Okay.
Chocolate cake.
Yes.
Fudge. Thai curry chips. Hummus.
Yes.
Aldi Triscuits. Baby carrots. A chocolate heart.
Good.
A stroop waffle.
Good.
A cinnamon biscuit cookie.
Excellent.
English breakfast tea.
Wonderful.
And not a LaCroix, but a Bellevue, which is like the Aldi LaCroix thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 10 snacks, and I'm not counting. That's not even meals. Those are just things that happen between and around meals.
Mm-hmm. I also tasted these items. Okay, it was Miles' birthday over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So happy birthday, Miles!
33.
We're in it. We're in it, folks.
We're deep.
In real deep now.
Okay, but I did just read an essay, and the woman talks about how she's 43 and she has to get a new driver's license, and her license was from when she was 33. And she's like, when I was young and my smile said, let's get a cocktail. And I had shiny hair. And I'm like, okay. And I was reading it yesterday and I was like, I just turned 33. This essay is saying that 33 is still young. Here's the proof. We're still shiny we're still drinking cocktails with shiny hair. And we're not 43. Well, we will be soon.
That worries me.
What?
Shiny hair? What hormones?
Well, she had
God.
2 kids between those times.
I'm sure. Mm-hmm. That fucks you up. Damn fucking hormones. Mm-hmm. You need them to live, and they wreck your youth and your body at the same time. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like that's a very successful day of eating. Like, I don't understand what the complaint is here. Like, what's the fail? Where is it?
I think the fail is that I ate like 3 different kinds of chocolates, 2 cookie-ish things, and chips. I'm unchained.
It's your birthday, you know? Your birthday was on Sunday, Valentine's Day.
And I'm still eating all the things.
Right. And that chocolate cake is damn good. Look at that Andy made. Oh my God.
Yeah, the caramel center.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like,
I thought about it on the way home. And I thought about how I should have taken some with me.
Yeah, that's insane that we didn't send you home with a piece. Although some of it still exists because Andy froze some of it.
Anyways, what's your...
Oh, I mean, my proper fail is that I am a twin, and I did not get my twin anything for our birthday, which should be the easiest birthday to remember. So then I just grabbed like a comic trade paperback from my house and was like, here's this thing I already own. And he gave me like
know?
2 like wrapped gifts. But I also
You
like
wrap it?
no, because I was like, fuck. But also he didn't Venmo me for any of the food that I bought this weekend. So I bought him like multiple meals.
Okay. I hate when people keep track of that shit. I don't like it. It's it depends how big the meal, like if it depends how expensive the meal is. Like if I'm going to a restaurant and it's $60 per person, yeah, you're gonna fucking Venmo me, okay?
Uh-huh.
But if it's just like we're eating at home a lot and I want to entertain someone, or I'm not fitting. I'm like, here's the bit. Like, no, it's not happening. I love you, so no.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time, like, if I'm debit carding food for like me, Zachary, Andy, and his roommate, and it's like $52, like I'm paying for 4 people's food, somebody should be Venmoing,
Oh.
you know? I mean, Andy and his roommate Venmoed me, and Zachary didn't, and then Zachary also didn't Venmo me for another thing. But Zachary, if you do listen to this, and like, happy birthday, enjoy that comic and the food.
Oh, that's your gift, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyways, my fail. It's also a food-related thing. So, for about 3 Sundays in a row, I've eaten an entire bag of salt and vinegar chips. Like, each Sunday, 1 whole bag, which is probably about, like, 1,000 calories.
This is like a family bag.
Yeah, like not a family size bag.
It's not the little one that's going to go in your sack lunch.
Definitely not. No.
Okay.
No, but not the family size Lay's either. It's like that the regular size.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I've been eating that the whole bag throughout the day, whole bag. When it should last probably a week.
Well, 4 days at least.
Not 4 hours. Not 4 to 5 hours.
4 days, not 4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've decided, I'm like, we're going to buy these chips every other weekend. There we go. Because we need them. Okay, we need these chips in our lives. Okay, but maybe not every week. Maybe not every Sunday. It's already hard. And the idea of it is hard. It's hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, I would be like, I'm all about just buy snacks that you don't like love. Like I buy pretzels because I'm like, pretzels are okay. I'm not going to tear through pretzels. And they're not as fatty.
Yeah, I hate pretzels.
Like you hate them?
I don't hate that. I just, no. I'd rather eat nothing, I think.
Oh, okay.
Depending how hungry and desperate I am, I will eat them, but I'd rather eat nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's my fail. Surprised I had one. That's not like, we're done. I didn't go to the gym. My car.
I know, you guys, we are constantly failing in the same ways, but we got to keep it fresh. We got to keep it fun. Like we can't be like, oh, I'm not working out. I mean, it's also like just a weather update for people not where we are in Chicago. It has been like single digit temperatures Fahrenheit for like a week, over a week. And then we've had like that's multiple feet of snow. So it's impossible to like, everyone says I don't even have a car, so I can't bike in this cold or this snow. Like I'm reduced to like walking basically.
It sucks. Yes,
you guys, we're switching it up. We're going to do successes now.
Now, instead of in the end.
Yeah. And just see how it feels. See if the water's warm.
Right? See if it flows better. Better flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
We talk a lot about flow on this show. We talk about heavy flow, light flow, better flow.
Medium
flow.
I'll go first for my success.
Mm-hmm.
I finally made a doctor's appointment for my vagina for a pap smear and pelvic exam.
What does finally mean?
Finally means I have an appointment for Monday at 9:40 at a doctor's.
You've been waiting how long?
Probably should have done this in the summertime, like last August, because you're supposed to do a pap smear every year. And the last one I had one was like for my, teratoma, I'm pretty sure. Which
was when Marika had a like tumor thing.
Benign tumor thing in 2019, summer of that. So should have done that, but I didn't. So, what prompted me to do this was because, I share everything on this darn show. So I have like some spotting that's happening. I'm gonna be honest. I have not. The last time this happened was when I was 20.
Spotting is, what is that?
Oh, so spotting, basically, it's like when your period is very light and it's not very like consistent. Like you'll like see it on like your underwear or like on when you go to the bathroom, and it's just like very light. It's not like a steady flow type of thing. So I like got my period this month. Thought it was kind of weird because I was like, okay, usually this lasts longer, but okay, whatever. A few days go by, and then I'm like noticing things like, like spotting, and I'm like, okay, like this hasn't happened since I was 20. So it makes me kind of concerned. So I'm like, okay, like what's going on with my body right now? Like I think now I have like ovarian cancer. There's something growing inside me. Can I feel something? I kind of can feel something. I don't really know. Like, is there something there? Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, I've had sex and it was kind of painful, but yeah. I mean, it wasn't painful where it was like, oh my God, please stop. But it was noticeable. So I'm like, okay, this hasn't happened before unless I was like super, super dry. That it felt like that type of pain, but I wasn't, and I'm like, okay, so that's weird. Okay, so yeah, so I like made an appointment to go see a gynecologist, and
like one that you've seen before.
What?
One that you've seen before, or like a new?
No, this is a new one. Because the other one, like the gynecologist that I saw for my cyst or whatever, she's all the way in Naperville, and I'm like, that was like one of the reasons why I didn't set this appointment sooner, is because like I do not want to drive all the way to Naperville to her office to get this done. Like I want to go somewhere around my neighborhood and get this done. So that's what I did. I went to like a women's like specializing in women healthcare.
Yeah.
So that's because I'm like, I want people to listen to me and not like over talk like
mansplain.
What I'm trying to. Yeah, mansplain. Like, yeah. Or like kind of like cut down my concern and be like, no, don't worry about it. Like they don't even let me like finish my damn question. And
I'm like, happened?
It happened when I got over like when I had my operation. Yeah. Like every my parents included, the doctor, my aunt, like kept like not wanting me to express my true concern about having children because I couldn't get out the words of like, okay, my ovary is gone. Probably my fallopian tube is gone. So all those eggs are gone. So I don't have like as many as I did before. Like, and all I could say was like worry about my fertility. Like, don't worry, you could be able to have kids still. Like, people do it all the time. I'm like, I'm talking about me as a patient, as a person. I don't care about other people and what they've done. Okay. What about me and my special circumstance? Like, hello, you said it was the size of a baseball. Like, that has to come into a factor of like my fertility and being able to bear children. Like, right? Like, so yeah. So we'll see at the doctor's office. We did it. We set the appointment. We're going. I'm also excited and nervous, but I'm excited because I finally made an adult. Like, this is a very adult thing for me, like, that I'm going through and making sure everything's okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to say actually really our success, Rika.
Oh.
Because I looked at our stats. And the numbers measure the amount of devices that listen to this podcast.
Okay.
And I think the vast majority seems like listening on Spotify now. But we
yes,
are
very easy.
Lightly over 100.
No, we're not.
Yeah. Spotify was like, you're at 102 devices.
No, we're not.
Yes. And then Stitcher was like, you have 1. And then Apple Podcast was like, you have like 2 or something. But Spotify says like 102 devices.
You think that's like an exaggeration? Like cut that in half, it's like 50?
I don't I don't know. It's like all the podcast analytics are like not great. Spotify says we have 15 people that follow us. Like we have 15 followers on Spotify. One of them, of course, is me. But and Marika. But I don't know because I looked the other week and it was said 80 and then it said 85 and now we're 102. So I guess we're on the rise or something.
Something.
We're
I don't know either.
We're moving and grooving. My other success is that it was my birthday and it was fun. Marika came over and my brother was in, and then Andy made us like this Greek meze dinner on Saturday. Marika wore a dress. We drank wine and we played code names, and
that was really fun. I liked that game.
That game was cool. But it was nice. I mean, I was kind of like a little bit bummed up to my birthday because I think when I have birthday parties, I just like to have like a bunch of people over to my house, and it kind of is I feel like a lot of the times I'm like, I don't really have friends. Like I have like 2 friends, but my birthday party, I'm always like, oh, I actually have a lot of friends and they're all here. It's like a reminder. So this year I was kind of bummed that I wouldn't get that reminder, especially in the pandemic where I kind of like, I'm really not seeing people much because I'm trying to be smart and safe. Like where in a normal time, I'd be like reaching out to people more.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. But I'm glad you had a good birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you reflect on like last year? Like, wow, like look how far I've come with my boo. I have a boyfriend now.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, because a year ago was pre-pandemic.
Oh, yeah, right. Isn't that great? It's so crazy to me. Like it felt so like it didn't feel like it was a year ago. It felt like it was like 6 months ago. Like still, I don't know. It's strange.
I think at this point it feels like we've been in it for a really long time. But I mean, a year ago was pre-pandemic. I would have been going to band rehearsals every week for like the concert that we do in March, and was like single as fuck.
Yeah.
And like basically a virgin again.
And
like kind of hopeless on the love front. I mean, eventually I kind of just gave up and I wasn't even on dating apps because I was like, I can't even like try this anymore. It's not working. Like I kind of was like, I think I'm going to meet someone in my 40s. That's kind of that was my thought process.
Oh, wow. Oh, I kind of remember that. I mean,
I was like, it's not happening. So maybe it'll happen. Maybe I'm just going to be like a later in life situation. And it's just maybe like no one is interested right now.
That's kind of what I think for myself too. That's why I'm like so like, like not so active with dating, I guess.
Well, how's your goal of going on 12 dates?
Oh my gosh. That's not happening.
You could do 12 dates in 2 months.
I could.
You're going to have to jam all in December.
Want to? Do I want to? I really don't. Oh, I really fucking don't.
Or you could
do going on dates.
You could do a bachelorette situation and do all 12 at once.
Okay.
Have a rose ceremony of your own. But it's like a charcuterie plate or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. Not something I would want to do. Like if everyone does the work for me and I just arrive,
oh my god,
looking beautiful, that would be fantastic.
Okay,
we'd love to do that, but yeah, I don't know. Talking to strangers right now is just exhausting, and
we're out of practice,
Yeah, that's true. But like I've always felt this way for so long. I really need to get out of this funk. Like especially if I want to have a child, like need to get out of that.
Yeah.
Or I just go to a sperm bank. That too. That's a real good contender for me right now. So, so first step is gynecologist. So there you go.
Oh, true. Monday gynecologist, Tuesday sperm bank.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, well, should we move on to our topic and play our music?
Yeah. Our topics today, I can't stay off my phone. Or is that the phrase that we chose? I can't get off my phone?
I don't. So let's remind everyone about this podcast. I don't know.
I don't know how to stop looking at my phone.
Okay, there we go.
Don't edit that, Miles. You keep all that in there.
Oh, I'm going to.
Keep it all in there.
That's the
Okay,
struggle that I deal with.
The talent.
Yeah, the talent I'm managing. Rico, why this topic? Why now? I mean, we kind of got a little bit of it last week from the comic episode, but
Yeah. I don't, especially with this pandemic right now, like I'm really addicted to screens. I can feel myself have anxiety when I look at screens too much and when I want to look at a screen for comfort. So yeah, I'm surprised I haven't really done this before, to be honest.
what is your average daily screen time?
Let's look that up.
I looked mine up today.
Daily average is ooh girl. Okay.
I went to last week because this week just started. I looked at last week.
Okay, so week average. God, it's a lot. Last week's average was 7 hours and 25 minutes.
A day? Like that's like it looked at the week and it gave you an average for the day.
Daily screen time. Yes. A day. That's a day.
Wait, is that possible? Like with outside work hours?
It is.
Are there enough hours in the day?
So take into a factor that like I do fall asleep sometimes with my phone, like listening to Parks and Recreation, and I'm not watching it, I'm falling asleep. So that's like probably an hour. Otherwise, it will keep like I fall asleep and I don't hear it, but then my screen time goes up because it's like you're playing something on your phone, but I'm not looking at it. So really, it's 6 hours and 25 minutes, probably. Like, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I just thought it
you-
was going to be similar to mine, or like maybe I was like, oh, maybe it'll be like a half an hour more than mine. Cause like mine is 105 minutes, which feels like a lot to me.
You don't have like good internet at your home, or you constantly be on Instagram all the time. Like I'm on Instagram. So this also calculates how many hours I put in a whole week between social media, games, entertainment. Entertainment makes sense because it's probably calculating Peacock, etc. Social media, 24 hours and 9 minutes for the whole week last week. 24 hours is a part-time job right there.
Yeah. I am like going to that in my phone to see.
So, I mean, Miles, it makes sense for you that like how little time you spend on your phone. That's great.
But that still seems like a lot. Like 105 minutes to me seems like a lot. That's like an hour and a half every day.
It's not. That's healthy screen time.
Mine, sorry, I said it wrong. Mine was not 105 minutes. It was 1 hour and 5 minutes was the average. That's okay. I feel okay about that.
Yeah. Yeah. You should feel okay. My total screen time for the entire week last week was 51 hours and 55 minutes.
Oh, mine was 7 hours and 41 minutes. Wow. This is making me feel so good about myself.
Fuck you.
I was like, I have a problem. And now I'm like, the world has a problem.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably you and like other people that I know like don't spend like that much. Like I probably can name another person or several people who spend that much time like you do.
I guess I feel like because I didn't have a smartphone until 2018 or 2017 or something. Like I'm still on my first smartphone. So that's why I'm kind of alarmed at mine, because before that I just had like this Nokia, and you guys, not like your 2004 like brick, like it was like a newer Nokia that I had to get from England or some shit. And it was nice. Okay. It could just call and text, but it wasn't like a piece of, like it was nice looking. But I feel like I've developed the behaviors where, like, when I got a smartphone and I don't have data on it.
That's another thing.
I just use
That's
Wi-Fi.
why you. That's why you have very little screen time, because you don't have data.
Well, no, it's
on
not
your
because
phone.
it's not because I'm not going anywhere. So
I know.
I'm on Wi-Fi at my house, or I'm on Wi-Fi at Andy's
factor.
house. Like, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I never really.
That's what I'm saying, though, because you're talking about habits, right? So if you had data on your phone pre-pandemic, like, you would be constantly looking at your phone all the time, but you never got it.
I don't think that's true, because if you look at my habits pre-pandemic, I was either at work where I was on work Wi-Fi, I was at home where I was on home Wi-Fi, or I was biking to and from. Like, I didn't take the train. Like, everywhere I was, I could get on the internet because of Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I think data is more like on the go.
I still think, because, like, if you had data, you would probably be doing other things that weren't biking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take Uber and Lyft and ride the CTA.
True. Yeah. Maybe Uber and Lyft. Yeah, that's true.
So, and you will be looking at your phone, listening to music, etc., like, more often, and you'll be creating those habits. But since you
well, that's true. That is true, because I don't do Spotify. I don't stream music on my phone. You guys, I have the iTunes app, which I don't think anyone has, and I buy music from iTunes that downloads to my phone. I don't think anyone is doing that, but I'm doing that. I just don't think I listen to music like I did. I think I just I'm going to download this song, listen to this one song a million times. I don't know. Or I just downloaded an album. I just downloaded an album, like the Kylie Minogue album, 3 weeks ago, and I've just been only listening to that album for 3 weeks. I'm very repetitive.
Same. I'm very repetitive with the same song all the time.
Mm-hmm. But when I went to T-Mobile, when I got my phone, these 20, maybe teenagers or 20-year-olds, they were like, "You don't want data?" And I was like, "No, I'm just gonna just unlimited call and text, and I'll use Wi-Fi." And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna want it. You're gonna come back here and you're gonna ask us for data because you're gonna get hooked. You're gonna get hooked on that phone and you're gonna want the data." And they were saying it like a positive. And I was like, this is the scariest thing. This is like a scare tactic almost, but you guys are being like, "Oh, you'll be back.
You'll regret it."
Yeah.
You'll regret it.
And I never went back. And I go to a different T-Mobile now that gets robbed all the time.
Probably an inside job.
But why I'm also worried about being on my phone is because pre-smartphone, I lived in the non-smartphone world, and I would just be, I think it's part of the reason I didn't get data. I would be out with people. I think people are better about it now, but I would be out with people out to lunch or something, and people would just be on their phones. And I would just sit there and I would look around. I would look at the other people in the restaurant, and people would kind of get in the zombie mode where they'd be staring at their phone, and then they would look up and they'd be like, "Oh, sorry." I just watched people do that for a few years there. And I think maybe because we're older, or maybe people are more used to smartphones, but I think people are better etiquette now than they did in 2013. I don't know. I don't know what you think, Marika.
I honestly think it's worse. Because everything is so aesthetically more pleasing now, I feel like, with social media, and there's a lot. Well, there's Clubhouse now. What the fuck is that? Okay.
Yeah.
TikToks and all that, Snapchat, YouTube, there's shows on Snapchat now. What? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a lot more shit now, and I never was that person where I'm I'm gonna be on my phone while I'm eating out with my friends. I never wanted to do that. I never had the desire. I want to take pictures maybe, or hey, Jamie, let's go on Tinder and swipe and that type of thing maybe. But if I was on my phone, it was kind of a joint thing. Let's look at judge people on social media together,
yeah,
or on Tinder or whatever, or Bumble. I just find it weird. And I do feel if I am texting somebody because I'm in the middle of a conversation, still I feel bad. I need to end this text, this back and forth right now because I'm with somebody. It just feels rude.
I feel rude too.
I mean, the other day, spent time on just chilled on a person's couch and we just like hung out and just like laid around and like didn't even look at our phones or didn't even watch TV or anything. We just like kind of like sat in silence, and that was really nice.
Yeah. Well, that is something I really like, and because my love language is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that I've noticed. I don't like when you're hanging out in a living room situation and the TV is just on as background.
Right.
Because I find it extremely distracting. Like, and it's hard. It's one thing if you're like, okay, I feel like Andy's friends, basically, maybe because they can't go to bars, they just create the bar. So like they have music videos going on the TV and then they have alcohol. And they even do this thing where they'll like theme it. They'll be like, you can only, like, everyone is doing the YouTube app and they're making a queue. You can make like a group queue. So like you, Marika, you put a music video in the queue. Then I put,
okay.
but they'll be like, okay, we're just doing desert music videos. So the music video has to be in the desert.
That's
It'll
kind
be
of
like
fun.
It's kind of fun because I'm like, okay, or because I'm like new to this group, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put in desert ones that I don't think because I was like, we need to put in Rihanna Psycho or something, the one with Rihanna and Justin Timberlake.
Selena.
So I'm okay if it's like a music video, but it's just if it's like people talking, like a dialogue show in the background, I just find it extremely hard to like talk over that and listen.
But no, it was really nice to just sit in silence.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes talk and then sit in silence some more.
Mm-hmm. Comfortable silence.
Yeah, like which is like a rare thing I feel like to achieve sometimes with certain people.
Yeah. Have you ever had your internet go out?
Oh yeah, a lot during this pandemic. It's really annoying. Not for like one Sunday, it was out. And it was out for like 8 hours. And luckily the cable was still working, thank God. Like I would have died. Would have died. I have anxiety just thinking about it right now. Like, which is terrible.
I'm like, would you have died though? Or would you have just like read something or?
I would have like probably started drinking and eating, read something, done some drugs with Adam, like probably just talk to Adam probably.
Wait, that doesn't sound that bad. Like talking to Adam, doing drugs, drinking.
I mean, we kind of do that already. Like, so Miles, do you miss your Nokia phone? Do you like smartphones? Like,
oh God, it's such a mixed bag. I honestly do miss it. I was sad that I had to change, but there were a few things that when I had a dumb phone, I was annoyed that I couldn't really do group texts and I had to have a separate camera. Like,
okay.
But my own phone's camera is kind of shitty. Like I went on a trip with my friend Michael who has like the Google Pixel and I was like, your pictures look amazing and mine look like farts. It's nice to have a camera in my pocket at all times. Although I don't think that is useful. I don't think I use it as much as I thought I would. Like, I think I was like, oh, I'm going to like take pictures and like put them on Facebook or Instagram. But like nobody really does that anymore. I don't like what social media has become really. And then I really like playing podcasts. That's what I do the most is play podcasts from it. Because before I was downloading podcasts through my computer through iTunes and then putting them on my iPod. And this is just so much more seamless. Everything else, like I just find myself like on it. Like I watch YouTube in bed and like how many times have I like gone to bed later than I wanted to or skipped the gym in the morning because I'm just like watching YouTube on my phone for no reason. I really don't like that. And that's what I was worried about getting a smartphone because I already would watch YouTube on my computer. And I'm like, I really don't want to have this into the bedroom. It's not going to be good for me. And it's not good for me.
Wow, that is so interesting because I had the same mentality with having a TV in my room. Like that, I don't want to, I'm like avoiding that at all costs, even though I'm sure it'll be like lovely. But I will not probably leave my room. Like I'll be a hermit and I like the transition from my bedroom to the living room, from the bed to the couch. Like just feel I accomplished something that day, even though I didn't really.
You moved between rooms.
I moved from like one comfy place to another comfy place where I lay down. Like laying down to laying down downstairs. Like so, but still, like I know I would be very I would isolate myself probably a lot if I had a television in my room. So I try to avoid that. But it's really interesting. You can for you that's a phone. Like and they said like you shouldn't bring like your phone should be, you shouldn't look at your phone like 30 minutes or an hour before going to bed and all that stuff. And of course
they
I
say
do
that with like blue light and stuff, but I can literally like turn off I'm such a good sleeper. I can like stop looking at my phone and immediately fall asleep. Like it doesn't matter.
No, I think it's I think it's like your brain and your eyesight. I don't think it's to help you, because same thing with me. Like 5 minutes later, I can fall asleep, but I think it's your brain letting you know, like, okay, like we're winding down for the day. Like it's not good to. I think they were trying to say like it's not good to look at your screen and then fall asleep. Like but yeah, that's interesting that you think it's like. I feel like it's a comfort thing. I always look at my phone. I'm like, comfort blanket, my security blanket. Yeah. What do you look at your phone as? It's like a utility?
I think it's a mixture. No, I think it's like a mixture of comfort or almost like the same thing that like a dessert or it's like an indulgence. Like I think it's an indulgence. I'm like indulging myself.
Okay.
But then I'm like, I'm indulging myself like too much. Like, why did I just like, I was up early enough to go to the gym. Or it's an indulgence and it's also an avoidance, because if I don't want to like, and that's true with all technology. Like even if I'm on my desktop computer working, if I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to have to think about this complicated work thing I have to write. Like I can avoid this for like 10 minutes and just like not exist and go on Twitter or like YouTube. And that's like, I mean, that's procrastinating.
Yeah. That's a dirty word for me.
The procrastination, our favorite country. The country we can't escape.
Oh, girl. I love you, procrastination. I love
you. But like I was going back to the having no internet thing, like that, like the few times, there have been a few times where I've been between internet or something. And like those days are honestly wonderful, because I'm like the pace of life is so much slower. I'm just like reading, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just like do this, and I'm like, oh no, I don't have internet. So, or I'll play a video game, which is still a screen, but at least it's like more of a dedicated activity. It's not as like flitting between things, like flitting between like YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. Like it's just like, okay, well, this is the thing I'm doing, and maybe there's even a storyline. So those non-internet, sometimes I think about it, like I think about how we don't even have to live with any of this stuff. Like there's people that don't even have TVs, like that they're like, I don't want a TV in my home is just like books and the radio. And part of me is like, wait, would that be like amazing?
I do think about life before this phone, like, and what I was doing, like I right now can't live without this thing. Like I do think about, Miles, the time when like we went out to eat for Colombian food, and I left my phone in the restaurant, and I was like panicking. And long story short, we were able to get the phone. I think we said, did we talk about it in an episode?
Yeah, it was your fail.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like I'm like, oh my God. I thought the whole world was ending. Or not, I didn't think it was ending, but I thought like my life is gonna become so much more challenging. This thing is expensive. Like I need a phone. Like I need this. Like I can't. How am I gonna wake up? Like my number one thing was like, how am I gonna wake up for work? This phone is expensive. Like that's then what am I gonna listen for music? How am I gonna call my parents? Just like, but growing up as a teenager, I didn't have this. I didn't constantly look at my phone all the freaking time, because God forbid you get onto the internet and on Internet Explorer with your freaking candy bar flip phone, and you're like, oh my God, no, because,
The charges.
the charge is scary. Yeah.
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 Maybe I do have a slightly different relationship now that you're talking about like that, because I think that my relationship with my phone is one of distrust. It's like a little
Wow.
It's like a little like evil entity that wants to like steal my time, which it always does steal my time. But I'm like, I have an alarm clock. Like I have an alarm clock. I don't use my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's mostly when I'm alone, because when I go to Andy's, I put my phone, my wallet, and my keys just in my shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And I just leave it. It's more when I'm just by myself that I'm like, ooh, let's like indulge. But, I don't have any problem just leaving it otherwise.
Well, when you're in love or when you're crushing on somebody or when you like someone.
Well, when I go to friends' houses too, I usually leave it in my shoe. I just leave all my pocket shit in my shoe.
Oh. Yeah, I don't do that. I'm like, I bring it with me. Like, if someone texts me that's important, or
yeah, I'm always getting text. I'm really bad. I always get text late, or I text back hours later. Like, I'm not good at text.
No, you're not. I texted you like happy birthday in the morning, and it took you like 8 o'clock to text me.
Yeah, because it was just like in my shoe. Like, it wasn't. Yeah, it's more when I'm alone, and that's when I like indulge.
Yeah, I don't think of it as indulgent. I think of it as a necessity. But not really. Like, I don't know. It's complicated. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that what we learned? What did we learn?
I'm addicted to my phone, clearly, and you're not.
But I feel like I also am, just to a lesser degree. But I feel like I'm still on. If it's not my phone, it's the computer. It's like I still feel like I'm on a screen all day.
Yeah, that's very true. Same thing with me. Like constantly, computer screen, television screen, my phone, all the time. That is what I'm looking at all the time. All the time.
I mean, I always watch TV. Like, as a kid, I watched a lot of TV. Like, I would, like, come home and watch TV for, like, 2 hours and then eat dinner. And I also played video games. So, like, it was always a screen thing. It's just a different screen.
Right.
But I do think of, like, high school at night. Like, if I didn't have a lot of homework, maybe more early high school, I would, like, listen to Top 40 Radio, like Kiss FM or The Mix. And I would draw comics at my desk in my room.
Aww. I would just look for Sailor Moon videos.
On your parents' like dial-up
wait
computer?
For my crush. Yeah, and wait for my crush to come on an instant messenger.
I don't know. Phones, screens, whether it's a phone or not, screens are part of our lives now. And they really have been, because we've had televisions and computers forever.
And like, they're not entirely bad. Like, people get really creative with phones. Like, look at fucking TikTok. Like, people like making these creative like videos and like, using different effects and like dances and stuff like that. Like, you can use, like, gosh, we come like this now is used to make like what it was like this. What movie was shot on an iPhone that like was nominated for an Oscar? I think it was A Search for Candyman or something like that, or Sugar Man. It was like this short film, all shot on an iPhone. All of that was shot on an iPhone. So like, it's like not all bad. It's just like how you use the phone, I think, rather than like mindlessly looking at like people's posting on fucking Instagram and shit. It could be like it's like a computer. It is a computer. Let's be real.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Okay, well, we're going to move on to the end of the show, which no longer involves successes, at least today, but it will involve sign-offs.
Okay. Well, I'm on Instagram at madhate, HAYTE.
And I'm on Instagram and Twitter at UGFine, UG6H's fine. I'm just going to keep talking even though Marika's face is frozen because of my internet. Lol. This podcast has an Instagram, which is IDK What Pod. Yeah, and I guess if you guys are listening to us on Spotify, then I would just encourage you to follow us. So we have proof that like we have real listeners.
Right. We don't really trust Spotify. Okay, they could be like some type of hype man, hype woman, hype person, okay? Just trying to get money out of us or something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what the angle is, Spotify, okay? All right?
So follow us on there, and that'll
But
make
I
us
do
happy.
know I don't trust you.
And maybe we'll get to like 20 followers, and right now we have 15. But
We have 15. Let's make it a 20.
yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye. I love you, procrastination. I love you.